Hello and a warm welcome on today's GoldenMuseTV, another episode for all of you absolute wonderful life explorers, change makers, light workers, and for those of you who believe that there's more in life. I'm Chrisoula Sirigou, the Golden Muse, and on today's show, I'm delighted. I've got here with me Kitty Waters. Hello, Kitty. Welcome.
Oh, I'm so excited. I love your introduction. You're talking my language.
Yes, we are talking the same language, and that's why we're here. We're here because we also believe that through real life stories, we can inspire one another. And it's also because sometimes we feel we are totally on our own, isolated and helpless. But let's see how we can demystify all of that, we have got so many tools available, so many ways, modalities, and ways forward. And let's see what Kitty has got to offer us today, because this lady has got a lot of inspiration to share. So, Kitty, you are a transformational teacher and also a serial entrepreneur, and you are the founder of Kitty Talks. And looking forward to being interviewed by Kitty at some point as well. So I'm going to ask you a very deep question, but I'm sure that will open to lots of different other things that we would explore in today's show. So, have you discovered your soul's purpose?
I would say I'm in inquiry and I'm on the journey, because I believe that our purpose unveils itself to us, and it also shifts and changes. And for me, I know what I'm passionate about and what lights me up. And I know I'm now on the correct path, is the way I describe it. And I think for people listening, the trap I see people falling into is that they think that they are going to wake up one day and just have this sort of, sudden epiphany, this is why I'm here. And actually, it doesn't really work like that. I truly believe that once we start to become conscious, once we start to wake up, once we get on the correct path, our purpose unveils itself to us. And it shifts and changes as we go through life. But actually, the great thing about this path is once you are on it, you will feel happier, healthier, and more connected to who you are. And actually, we all have one purpose, the same purpose, which is to help shift consciousness. We're just doing it all in our own unique individual ways, and that's perfect. And at our own unique individual levels, actually, as well.
Yes, because sometimes we are getting a bit overwhelmed when we are comparing ourselves with others. We say, oh, look, they are doing this and I haven't done this. And we're getting a bit agitated and panicky and overwhelmed. And that doesn't help us to concentrate our own energy and our own gifts and what we are really, truly good at. And I think that's where you're coming from as well, Kitty. That,
absolutely.
Finding what really keeps you sort of your energy up, and you bring the best out of you.
Yeah, your soul's calling is your soul's calling. It's not anybody else. Your purpose is your purpose. Your dharmic path is your dharmic path. And actually, I think it's very dangerous to be in the comparison game. And comparison is a very low level emotion, vibration. It's much better to be grateful, to be full of gratitude for your life, where you are, and be in inquiry about how your life is going to evolve and unfold, and then have a vision that you're working towards. As almost like a marker in the sand. That's what I teach. The four stages of consciousness. The first stage is that we think that we are victim. We don't take any responsibility. We think that life happens to us, not for us. And something usually happens to shift us out of that. And we go into the second stage of consciousness, which is all around responsibility. And we start to realize that actually everything we've created in our life is because of us. And we have, we've been responsible for that. We've had some part in it. And then the third stage that we go into is that we understand that we can start to create for ourselves and others. So we start to create for ourselves, start to manifest things for ourselves. But where, for me, I love to work is at the fourth stage, and we understand that we are one. Us in the universe. We are a universe's servant. In the nicest possible way. The universe is here to speak through us. It's here to do its work through us. We are a channel for consciousness, and we are here to make a difference. And when we understand that we are part of the bigger picture of life, you know, that we are here to shift consciousness, and we open up to that, that's when life gets interesting, because literally the universe will talk through us. Like when I created my Do Your Dharma course, I knew kind of roughly what I wanted to do, but then when I put pen to paper and I just opened up to the higher intelligence force, it came through me. And that's when it gets really beautiful and really interesting, and we can surrender into that, you know, the universe having our back.
Yes, yes. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, I totally agree with what you just said, the 4 stages you mentioned. And this year particularly, according to numerology that I work with, the beautiful language of numbers, we are in a 3 universal year. And why I'm bringing that up now is because in this year, you will need to shift any issues of victimhood. If you don't, you're going to get a smack on your face, one after the other. So dear ones, those of you who are watching and you'll be watching, you really need to look deep down and say, where are you holding yourself back because you still believe that you are a victim? The poor me kind of attitude is not going to hold you, is not going to sustain you, is not going to support you this year particularly. It's a 3 universal year, which means you need to grow and expand. 3 is the number of expansion. If you stay yourself, you know, in that victimhood mode, you're not going to be able to expand. So you're going to go against the universal energy, if you like. So what you're saying here, Kitty, is absolutely, you know, corresponds to, you need to become more responsible, right, for for what you're bringing into this world. And that's another key message for 2019, since we are almost at the beginning of this year.
Yeah, and we're also in an Earth Pig year, which anything that we really put our energy into will be accentuated. So if we put our energy into victimhood and we put our energy into kind of not taking responsibility, that will be accentuated. Yeah. But if you put your energy and your passion and your purpose into what it is that you love and what it is that you enjoy, you will be rewarded. Yeah. So what is it that you want to focus on this year? Is it your health? Is it your love life? Is it your business? You know, wherever you put your energy will really be accentuated. There is a big crest of the wave that we can take advantage of, but it has to be in the right areas, and we have to be making sure that we're looking at positive shifts.
Yes. And then, exactly that, you know, look on the positives, focus on the positives, because when you're thinking of expanding, of course, you say yes to something new, something, you know, like bigger than yourself, but also the self-doubt kicks in, right? So you start questioning, oh, am I going to do this? Oh, am I going to be successful? I'm going to make it happen? What people will think of me or whatever. So self-doubt will kick in, and then negativity can kick in as well. So really this year, particularly, you really need to focus on the positives. And the gratitude and journaling and expressing your ideas in writing is going to be very, very helpful this year. So...
And Earth energy, I just one more thing, because I think, you know, Earth, it's an Earth Pig year. Earth energy is all around communities. So if you're not in empowering a supportive community, go and find one, because it will really help uplift you and support you in what you're trying to do and achieve.
Yeah, it's about collaboration. It's about, you know, community projects, really working together. Pigs love working with one another. It's a very family kind of animal, right? So they really, really love, you know, supporting one another, being there for one another. So it's not about doing things on your own this year. So please do, you know, find something, a project or other people that they believe in you and vice versa, and they can support you and uplift you and vice versa. And reach out. That's for sure. That's the key messages for 2019. Anyway, this is, you know, I wasn't planning to do that, but it just came very naturally. So I thought it's good to bring that up as well, Kitty. But the one thing that I like to focus on this episode is, what is Dharma? Because I heard you speaking before about Dharma, and I know you are a teacher of Dharma. So for me and for all of us who is watching this episode, let's demystify what Dharma is.
Yeah, no problem. Well, the word Dharma is used in about 18 different Indian languages and texts, and it means different things in different languages. So you may hear different kind of examples. So in the Buddhist texts, for example, it means the teachings. But when I talk about Dharma, I talk about the Vedic texts. So the Vedas, the easiest way to sort of describe them would be the Indian equivalent of the Bible, very ancient sacred texts, which its wisdoms was passed down to kings and queens and sages. And the Vedas talk about Dharma being the right path of action for the individual and humanity at the same time. Mm-hmm. So if we break that down a little bit, what they believe, and I truly believe, is that there's 7.5 billion people on the planet, but there's only one you. And each of us have a gift that we can bring to the world. You know, especially at the moment, you know, my mission is very much to wake as many people up to this as possible. You know, we're at a critical point in humanity's existence. You know, the choices we make now will affect our children and our children's children. Mm-hmm. And when we are doing our Dharma, we're very much in alignment with the universal energy force. Mm-hmm. And life is not meant to be difficult, but we've not been given the instruction manual. We all have a kind of inner sat-nav that we can access and we should listen to. But again, we haven't been taught how it works. So your dharmic path is your purpose. You know, your dharmic path is one that will make you feel happier, healthier, you'll live longer, and you'll feel this kind of unshakable sense of inner peace. You know, so I know with your listeners, Chris, I know I'm sure a lot of them are on the path, and they know how their life has shifted, you know, from when they were kind of maybe doing something out of alignment with who they were to now in alignment with who they are and how they want to serve. But where I take it at a deeper level is I teach people the tools so they understand how to stay in flow with universal energy force on an ongoing basis. Because once we wake up, once we become conscious, once we start to do the work we love, that's all well and good, but life still happens. Mm-hmm. You know, so how do we manage our mindset? How do we make sure we stay in flow and in synchronicity at all times?
Yeah. How do we actually embrace the change that's coming to us? And we say yes to change, but, you know, without having a support system in place, ongoing support system. So how can we penetrate through, you know, the different challenges? Because change is good. I'm really positive about change, but it could equally be very challenging because not only on a personal level is how actually other people see change, and we are connecting with other people, family or colleagues or community, and you may say yes to change, but also sometimes, you know, people don't appreciate you changing. So that's another thing. So Kitty, the tools you're teaching via the Dharma course, they are there to support them at the first stages, but also throughout, you know, whatever changes are coming afterwards, you know, whatever transformation they're going through, right? So there are different levels when you're teaching your course.
Yeah, it's a process that we go through to get people clear on their passions, their you know, what it is that truly excites them, and then we help them strip away the limiting beliefs that are holding them back, because we all have limiting beliefs. We're all human, you know. That's perfectly
the limiting boxes, yes, absolutely, yes.
Yeah, and we all have, and then we kind of give you like a simple tools and techniques to enable you to manage your own mindset. And then what we do, which I think is very powerful, is level 4 in creation, on sort of level 4 consciousness, is to create a vision for your life and actually live into that. Because most people are living into their default future. You know, they're not in creation, you know, and they're certainly not in creation with what it is how they want to serve and who they want to help and serve on the planet. So we get you clear on your vision for your life, and then you go through that 8-week course with a real understanding of who you are, because I think that's something that we're not taught. You know, we go to school and we learn so much stuff outside of ourselves. You know, we learn maths, English, geography, French, but, you know, who are we? You know, so we take you through a process to uncover what's natural for you. And that's very much about staying in alignment with who you are and your flow. And so I'm a big advocate of delegation, of anything that doesn't keep you in a higher state. And then we have a mastery community. So once you have mastered the skills, you then keep them alive, because it's one thing to do a course, but now you want to put it into action. And now it gets interesting, because now what we do is we absolutely get you to make that vision come true.
Yeah. And it is an ongoing thing, as we started off this conversation today. It is an ongoing thing. It is a journey. It's the changes are happening, the shifts are happening, but there are ups and downs. But also, I think is the support system, the community, the tribe you are in that will help you, sustain you, and vice versa. I don't think you can do these things completely on your own. However clever, however powerful, however persistent you may be, committed you may be, you really need somebody and a circle of people in your life to help you going and move forward. And delegation, as you said before, Kitty, it's sometimes we want, because being self-employed and running your own business, you may have find yourself saying, oh, I will do this, I'll do that, I'll do everything, and then we end up burning out, and then we don't really concentrate on the things that we really are good at. So what are you good at? Again, that's the question Kitty was saying before. Who are you, and what is your soul purpose, and what is that really lift you up? Go ahead and do that, because we tend to be really distracted by lots of other things. So learn to delegate. That's a very good leadership skill, isn't it? I find. Yes. So we've got change through Dharma, connecting with your soul's calling and shifting and moving forward and really contributing. For me, that's another thing. We are all contributors, right? We are contributing to how we can, be all happier and healthier, and how we can live on this planet Earth together in harmony and flow. And in words, it sounds really nice, right? But what do we do individually to make that happen? And that's where we are here, myself and Kitty, to say, okay, there are different tools, there are different ways that can help you, that can support you. So there's the key word that I also love, Kitty, and I believe you do, is called action. So what action are you going to take?
I would like to say aligned action, because I think that's what's powerful. You can run around like a headless chicken taking action left, right and centre, but actually where it's powerful is when it's in alignment with who you are and what you're looking to create. So there are steps that come before that.
Yeah.
So the steps initially are finding out actually where your genius zone is and where your superpowers are, because we're all completely unique. We're all completely different, and all of us have passions, but when we combine that with our unique gifts and talents, that is when it gets really, really powerful. Yeah. So that's what we get you clear on, because again, we are not taught those skills. It took me till the mid-20s to understand that I was really, really good with people, and I just thrived off people and the energy of people, and I really came alive when I was helping and serving people. It took me till mid-20s to work that out. So my mission very much, Chris, is to get into schools, because I really want to be able to teach this in schools. Imagine if we taught our children from a very young age that they're completely unique, they've got a completely beautiful gift that they can bring to the world, and their job in this lifetime is to uncover what that is. And yes, we're going to educate them. Yes, we're going to give them some really good education, but their job is to understand what it is that excites them. What are they passionate about? And what's fascinating, as I've interviewed 120 people on this subject now, and where I've seen it's very, very powerful, is when you look at the younger generation. I interviewed a lady called Naturally Sassy, and she's 20, and she has a global business serving and helping women all over the world. And that's because she tuned into her purpose and her passion from the age of 3. And inadvertently, she kind of followed the things that absolutely she adored. And of course, she has no stuff. As we get older, we get limiting beliefs, we get blockages, we kind of become more fearful. And at the her age, she didn't have any of that. She just went for it. She followed what she was. And of course, then she's in alignment with the Dharmic path. She's in alignment with the universal energy force. She's in alignment with the universe has her back. There's synchronicity, there's signs, there's signals. You're flowing. You're absolutely riding that crest of the wave. So that's what I teach, basically, is to get people really clear on how that can be their pure life experience. And it's very satisfying when you see people manifest big sums of money, get upgraded to first class, let go of back pain, let go of taking antidepressants. When we are doing our Dharma, we will be happier, healthier, and have sort of this inner sense of unshakable peace. So it's, yeah. And of course, the bigger mission is that we're here to save the planet. You know, all of us have to do our bit. We can't be done. It's not his job or their job, or it's everybody's job. You know, everyone needs to wake up to that fact. And actually, the quicker we wake up to that, the better.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. And then hearing you talking about working with children and helping children at a young age to really connect with who truly who they are, who they want to be. It's one of my personal sort of visions as well. So thank you for bringing that up, Kitty. And it's what I call it is actually really connecting and claiming your gold. And then we've got our gold inside us, but we don't really know. And then it takes so much time, so much effort, and still we may try different things, but still not really feeling fulfilled inside. So what you're saying here is, let's start at a much earlier stage in our lives, and let's really connect with our true essence and the true gifts and what our calling is, rather than wait until we get 30, 40 or later on in life.
But also, it's never too late, you know, for people listening to this thinking, oh, maybe I've missed the window.
No, you haven't missed. It's never too late. It's never too late. Absolutely.
And we can always access this path. It's there. It's never, we just go away from it. Yeah. You know, and actually we're always getting signs and signals. Messages come in 4 gateways: the mind, body, spirit, and emotions. So if you feel resistance in your body, in your mind, that's because you're off path. You know, when you feel joy, you need to look at your joy as a sat nav. You need to follow that. You need to go towards that. But unfortunately, a lot of what we've been brought up with is that life should be difficult, life should be hard. You know,
everything has to be a struggle.
Yeah, and especially if you think about, we were talking about delegation and the fact that, you know, a lot of people believe they should do their weakest thing first. You know, and it's been a revelation for some people who have come through the course, because they've said, oh my God, I always chastise myself because I wasn't good at certain things. And I'm like, yes, but you won't be good at everything. Lean into what it is that you are good at and outsource the rest. And I just watch people fly because they let go of the guilt that they have around not being good at everything and just focus on what it is that they really, really love.
Yeah. Focus on your beautiful colors, you know, the colors that, you know, they really lift you up, and then you can lift everybody else in your life as well. And that's what we're here to lift each other up. So and it's great. I would just carry on talking with you, Kitty. We've got so many things in common. I love it, absolutely love it. And yes, and the other thing I like to say, just to wrap it up, is sometimes also if we don't know what our real self-worth is and how we can maximize that, we actually, you know, expecting for approval from the outside, expecting for, you know, saying, yes, you're good at this, you go for it, or oh no, you're not good at this. So if we are not following the sat nav you said before, or we're not sort of connected with our true calling and true power, then we can be shifting ourselves, and then we're always sort of questioning whether we are on the right path or not. And then there's a way out. There's a different way you can live life, right?
You feel it. You should feel it. You know, for people listening, you know, how do you feel? That's it. If you're happy and you get out of bed and you really enjoy your day and everything's a joy and it flows, you're in alignment. If you are stuck, you're struggling, you're unhappy, you have resistance in your body, maybe you have sickness, you're unwell, you need to tweak something, you need to change something. Yeah. You know, so we teach you basically what it is that you need to do and how you need to tune in. Yeah. And you know, life is joyous and beautiful. It's just we haven't been given the instruction manual. So listen to those signs and signals: mind, body, spirit, and emotions. Yeah,
that's what I call being a whole, right? You know, like bring wholeness back into your life, and that's how you can be in the flow of life too. And everybody can have that. It is not a prerogative for just a few of us. Everybody can live that holistic sort of having holistic lifestyle and well-being and being the flow. So that's it. That's absolutely amazing. So Kitty, thank you so much for joining me and here on the GoldenMuseTV, and thank you for bringing your light out there and inspiring other people through the Dharma course, through everything else you do. And how can our viewers get in touch with you?
Well, we would love for them to come and say hello. If you've listened to this interview, come and make yourself known. I'm on Facebook, and we have a Facebook group, Kitty Talks, Build a Life in Alignment with Your Soul. Come in and join that. It's really a supportive community. And I'm just about to run a free challenge, the Follow Your Highest Excitement Challenge, where I explain a lot of what I've been talking about here today. And then we have a Dharma course coming up at the beginning of March. But we're also on Instagram as well. So Kitty_talks. Got a big community there.
Brilliant. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much, Kitty. Thank you. Lots of love.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me on. Really appreciate it.